Hey guys, just wanted to add a little context to the video you're about to watch. So I'm adding this a bit later. It is currently December 4th, 2024, and not even 12 hours ago, XDefiant officially announced that they are going to be shutting down services in June of next year. After they release Season 3, the servers will be officially defunct and going offline, and this caught me by surprise as much as it did you guys. I had a video, like the video you're about to watch has already been done a couple of days ago, and this announcement, I don't think anybody saw it coming. Not even the devs saw this coming, and certainly took me by surprise. So this was sort of already going to be coming out anyways, but now that the game is going to be shut down, I think that's important context for the rest of the video, but obviously people can still play XDefiant and enjoy it up until Season 3 when they shut down later in June of next year. This is obviously a really weird situation, and I've never been in a position where I'm doing a video on a game and it shuts down before I can even post my video, so I'm actually really bummed out because even if this wasn't a sponsored video, I actually just like XDefiant as a game, and so I had no problem doing this one, but you can enjoy the game until June 3rd of next year, and then it will be officially going offline forever. So I just wanted to add this as an important thing to this video. I had no clue they were going to be shutting the game down before I got this video posted, so I'll have a few more words about this at the end of the video, but I want you to just enjoy what it was supposed to be from the beginning, so please enjoy that. XDefiant has been making some pretty big plays recently. They've just dropped their brand new Season 2 update, and for those of you who don't know, like, I've been following XDefiant for years now, pretty much. Like, since its conception, I've played some of the earliest ever versions of the game, some very early test builds, alphas, stuff like that, but basically, I've seen this game grow and evolve since the very beginning, so it's kind of cool to see the progression from where it started to where it is now. So we've got a lot to talk about in their brand new Season 2 update. And the best part is, literally, all of this stuff in XDefiant is free to play. So, I mean, if any of this stuff feels, interesting to you or something you want to check out for yourself, luckily, it's very easy to do that. You can play on just about any platform, and you can jump into it right away. And this video is sponsored, obviously, and I want to thank XDefiant and Ubisoft for sponsoring the video. Even if it wasn't, I would still be saying that, honestly, I think XDefiant just mechanically is one of the best, like, arena shooters out there. It's a very good FPS, just in terms of its bare bones and how the mechanics are. And I felt that way since the very first time I played it. I, realized that this has a lot of potential, and it just needs to have things to do, and it needs content. And, I've watched this game grow from this arena shooter with only a handful of maps to something to what it is now, and with the brand new Season 2 release, like, it added a ton of content to the game that I was very eager to jump on and play, and so I just want to give you a little bit of my thoughts on that. So, something cool they added was a brand new faction, the Highwaymen, that are from Far Cry New Dawn, and for those of you Far Cry enjoyers, this is going to be a big one. The Highwaymen have a handful of abilities. There's a brand new M79 grenade launcher that you can use. There's also a deployable scrap turret, and I was using this one when I started playing, and it's absolutely insane. There's also a new passive, which basically increases your rate of fire and reload speed as you get more kills. And then there's also a saw launcher, which fires bouncing buzz saws, and I was trying to really figure out how to get good with this, but I'm going to need more practice with the buzz saw. Just wasn't happening for me in my game. It's honestly a skill issue. Now, the really cool thing I've always liked about XDefiant since the very beginning is the fact that they do input-based matchmaking. So what that means is that, you can play with different people across multiple platforms. If you have a friend on PC who's playing with a controller and you're playing on PlayStation 4, for example, or PS5, you guys can play together in the same lobbies, but they do matchmaking based on, what peripherals you're using. So you're not jumping into a lobby of a bunch of keyboard mouse players if you're a controller player, and conversely, if you're a mouse and keyboard player and you don't like playing against controller players, they'll exclusively put you with M&K players as well. I think that's a really great feature that more FPS games need to adopt. It works fantastically here. Now, I mentioned with Season 2 they added some new game modes and stuff, and as a content creator, one of the things I love having most just personally is the ability to use private matches, and previously XDefiant didn't have this, but with Season 2 they've now added the ability to where you can set up your own private matches however you want. You can invite your friends to them so that you can kind of control the rules and stuff. This is an amazing feature, and I'm so unbelievably glad that they have this in the game now. It just makes it feel a lot more complete, and this is a stellar addition. They've added a new game mode as well called Bomb, which is XDefiant's first ever single life mode, where obviously, you attack and defend from certain planting sites, and you want to be the one to either blow up the bomb if you're the attackers, or, defend it from the enemy team. It's a very classic game mode. I said earlier that XDefiant, like, the first time I ever played it, only launched with a handful of maps, but they've really expanded their offering, and Season 2 adds a bunch of new ones as well. There's a map called Signal, which is also inspired by Far Cry New Dawn. There is another one inspired by the new Highwaymen faction called Waterfront, and they're also adding an additional 2 maps down the road as well. The thing I'm noticing more and more as I'm playing XDefiant is that the maps are actually really good. I mean, aesthetically, and even some of the layouts are obviously taken from other Ubisoft products and games and are inspired from a lot of those locations. Some of them are kind of one-to-one from the game that they're from, and some are a little bit more inspired recreations and such, but still, I think that the map design as it relates to XDefiant's core gameplay and the sort of specialist system they have going on complements it really well. I've always felt this way from the beginning, is that XDefiant has great map design philosophy, and I think one of the aspects I enjoy most about it is the fact that they don't really spend a whole lot of time filling up the map with like visual noise and clutter. They're stripped down in a way that I really like. It's this sort of like minimalist approach where you know what the level design is, you can see everything very clearly, enemies don't get like lost in brush or in weird lighting and shadows and stuff, and you can actually see what you're firing at, which is just amazing quality of life, and it makes the gameplay experience that much more smooth. Now, one of the biggest things with XDefiant, as I'm sure most of you are well aware, is that they are very outwardly anti-SBMM. Skill-based matchmaking is kind of like the boogeyman around here, right? We don't mess with this, but I was very curious about how XDefiant would go as it becomes older, because I've always had this theory that the older a first-person shooter game gets, the more it kind of like crystallizes this hardcore community, and then they can kind of inevitably push newer players out, and like the games and lobbies end up feeling really sweaty. You're matching with the same people all the time, and it's just the tryhards that are online always. But I was worried that Season 2 of XDefiant and getting on, that it was just going to be this incredible sweat fest, but it really wasn't. And, you know, even that XDefiant has been out for as long as it has, it was surprisingly unsweaty, and that was like so refreshing. And that's such a big thing for me, because there's moments where I just want to jump on a game, chill, maybe listen to music, and just shoot around and have fun, and XDefiant has never let me down in that capacity, like actually ever. And so if that's like a big important thing to you, then I would highly consider checking out Season 2, because it still retains that more casual nature to it, while at the same time adding a lot more content to the game and things to do. Speaking of which, they've completely overhauled like weapon XP. They've greatly expanded the battle pass and customization and the way that you can essentially customize your characters within each faction. The Gold Season 2 pack is also available now to get on the PlayStation Store, Xbox, and also Ubisoft Connect. It wouldn't be a new season without new weapons though, and this is the thing that I was interested in. So they've added 3 new guns: the PP9 SMG, the L86 LSW, and also the Spaz 12 shotgun. Just some absolute classics right there. I will say this, XDefiant so far has shown with their track record that when they do drop content, they make sure it's like packed full of stuff and things to do, because, you know, I think it's very easy for live service games and the seasonal model of content to just feel like they have to force things out and just to get a new season out there, but maybe it doesn't really have a ton to offer. I think XDefiant releases seasons a lot more slowly, but that means when they do drop something, it is absolutely loaded to the brim with stuff to do. And I will say that, you know, hand over my heart with Season 2, like that's the kind of content that I expect for seasons to come out with, just because I think it's enough to justify you getting on the game if maybe you haven't played in a long time, or perhaps you haven't played maybe ever. XDefiant has really come a long way since the beginning and the content that it had to offer, and it's slowly but surely every single day forging more and more of an identity on its own. And like I said, this is just a game that I like to just personally play in my own time. I think it's a ton of fun, and I wouldn't recommend it if, you know, I didn't actually enjoy this game. Like, it still does have top of the line, superb gunplay, some of the best like in the business, and they've only gotten better over the years as the game has gotten in a better technical state. It really feels good to shoot in here, to move around, like that. All that stuff is awesome. I think the core mechanics are in a really solid spot, but above all that, the thing I feel I enjoy most about XDefiant, and that even continues with Season 2, is the fact that there's just really no manipulation of the matchmaking, right? I'm not even talking about just skill-based matchmaking. That is a big part of it. I mean, some of what skill-based matchmaking does is allow people who have maybe never picked up the game before to jump into their first ever lobby and stomp on everyone and then think they're a god, right? But XDefiant doesn't really do that, and I think that's a good thing because there's no manipulation here. You don't get punished if you have a good game. And on the other side of that, if you're just starting first-person shooters or you're, low experience, you actually get to feel the progression of you getting better at the game, because skill-based matchmaking as a concept will put you in a lobby to make you feel like a god pretty much right off the bat, but you don't really feel like you're getting any better. And for medium to higher skill players, you feel like you're consistently getting punished for doing well, which is so backwards. But XDefiant still doesn't have any of that, and I'm kind of surprised that the lobbies just haven't naturally gotten so sweaty where it feels like skill-based matchmaking. But genuinely, I was having a ton of fun with this playing the other day and just realizing, like, hey, casual arena mechanics still exist, and you can enjoy a game that's fundamentally not going to punish you if you have a really good match. XDefiant always had good bones from day one. It just didn't have the most content to offer ever, but that's really been alleviated with Season 2, and if you haven't played XDefiant ever, then it's going to feel like a lot more of a completed game. And if you haven't played in a long time, you're going to be surprised when you come back and realize that there's so much more to do. Progression has been really streamlined and been made better. So many quality of life fixes that I can't even begin to list all of them from the last time that I played. And, the Season 2 came at a good time because I was planning on checking back in on XDefiant soon anyways, and now it just seemed to line up perfectly. So if you have never played XDefiant ever, I recommend you go and check it out. You can obviously download it for free on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC using the link in the description. And if you're going to be jumping on, invite your friends and try out the new private match mode. Like if you're just, wanting to get refamiliar with the mechanics and stuff before jumping right into the standard playlist again, it's a pretty good idea. It's a lot of fun. You can go and mess around and make your own rules and stuff like that. So anyways, thank you very much to XDefiant for sponsoring the video. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for your time. And I'll be checking in on XDefiant again very soon and seeing what they're up to, but I wanted to give you guys a big update for Season 2. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, fellas. It's really unfortunate because this is a game I truly just enjoy playing in my own time, and I was very happy to be able to do a sponsored opportunity for them, and I want to thank them very much for that. Obviously, new players are not able to download the game anymore, but existing players can enjoy XDefiant until June 3rd. I wasn't sure if I was even going to be able to post this video, but they asked me to just go ahead and upload it, so I appreciate you guys for watching. Just wanted to let you know that I had no context of the game was about to be shut down as I was recording the main portions of this video, but thank you to XDefiant for everything you've done for the community. Thank you for what you've done as a game, and thank you for what you've done for me. I appreciate you watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.